in this how-to we are going to learn that how to select multiple records from the grid view and retrieve selected records value. And this is particularly useful in case you want to list many records on the web page, and you want your user to select multiple records and perform certain action. For example, you want user to select multiple records and delete those records. In that kind of scenario, you can use this approach. So in order to demonstrate this approach, what I have done is that I have placed one grid view on my ASPX page, and then we have a button. So let me show you how it is looking like. So here is my grid view, as you can see. Okay, now in this, let me explain what is in this grid view. This grid view has auto generated column equal to false, so that based on the data source, the column will not get generated automatically. Currently what was happening is that all the columns were generated automatically. I was not explicitly mentioning the columns, but in this case I want a specific column to be generated and in the way we want. So that's why I have set auto generate columns equal to false. And when we will make auto generate columns equal to false, then we will have to explicitly write the columns that we want to display in the grid view. And then we have written allow paging equal to true, that will basically allow to do pagination, and data key names equal to auto ID, and on page index changing means when the page number will be clicked, then paginate the data server side method will fire. And here we have also written enable persisted selection equal to true. There is no need of use because we are not going to use it. However, just keep it as it is. And then we have written page size equal to 5. It means that in one page I want to display 5 records, and pager setting mode equal to I have written numeric. Now because I have written auto generated columns equal to false, so I will have to explicitly mention the column name I want to appear in the grid view. So for that, what I have done is that I have kept one checkbox, so that I will give option to the user to check the checkbox for that particular record in the grid view. So for that purpose I have kept one template field, and its header text is select, and then in the item template, you can see here item template, I have specified the ASP checkbox and run it equal to server. Then we have written the bound field whose header text is auto ID, and the data field to use is auto ID from the data source. Similarly for first name and for last name, and for is active also we have done. Is active was nothing but the active column of the database. It means that this column, there was bit type, so I have written if it is true, then write yes. And then we have a button called get selected records, and on click of the button we will execute server side method called get selected records. Now let me go ahead and write some server side code. So here is my server side code. Let me just write it down. So I'm here, and then from here again I am coming pasting till here. Okay, so fine. Now looks like we are almost there. This little more is left. Okay, fine. So this, and it will come basically here, and then it will come here. Now let me align the code so that it will look nice, and this. Okay, now let's go ahead and see from the top of the page what is written in this page. We have a connection string being retrieved from the web.config file, and if this is not post back, then we are calling the get data method. Now let us see what is in the get data method. In this get data method we have instantiated the data table, and then SQL connection, SQL command, and data adapter, and when filled the record into the data table, and specified the data source of the grid view to the data table. Fine, so this will simply populate the records into the grid view. Now let me run this page. and first let us close the existing page and let me run this page again. So here is my page. You can see that the first column is coming as the checkbox because I had specified this as a checkbox and header text was select. So that's what the header text is coming here. Now you can notice that I will be able to check the checkboxes. Now when I am checking the checkbox and going to the second page and again coming back to the first page, you can see that the checkbox is not selected, means the selection is not being persisted because I am not using the inbuilt mechanism of persisting selection, because I have not select link here, but I have a checkbox, and that on check of the checkbox we are not performing any option. So in order to persist the selection, we will have to add some other mechanism, and that we will see in the later video. But here what we want to do is that whatever record had been selected on the first page, when we will click the get selected records, I want them to be listed on the page. So for that purpose, what we have done is that on the click of this button, we have executed get selected records method, and in the get selected records method, what we have done is that we have iterated through all the rows of the GridView, and then we have tried to find out the checkbox. So the checkbox ID is naturally the chk select. So using the row of the GridView, we have called the find control method and passed the checkbox ID that we want to find out, and we have unboxed that to the checkbox, and we are checking if the checkbox is checked. Then write the data key value and the first name of the record. So first name we have retrieved using row.cells of 2, because cells of 2 is 0, 1, 2. So this Brussels, in this case the first record will be first name will be Brussels. So here we have written the auto ID value and the first name value on the page. So if 3 records will be selected, means 3 checkboxes will be selected, then we will get the details of 3 records on the page. So let me just do that. So I have already selected 3 records. Now let me click on get selected records button, and you can see that 3, 5, 6 all those records had been selected and written on the page. So this was the way to basically get the selected records of the GridView and write it on the page. Once you have find out the selected records, then you can perform any database operation under this if block. But here my purpose was just to show that how to get the selected record. So that's why I have written on the page.